But besides Fallen Ray is the only final point that I have with what I want from the next Andromeda. It's just to continue either threading the lines of the Benefactor, Sloan and Reyes stuff, the Jardin, the cat, and all that.
The thing is, there has to be more Cerberus in the two. I mean, yeah, there's the two people, but I mean, fucking Cerberus.
Yeah, but I want to see the
Burn them to the ground!
I want to see the threads of all the stories that have been left open and the choices we made. I want to see all that threaded through.
Yeah, I want more missions.
Either to be tied off in the next one, or to be threaded into a third one, or have other wrenches thrown into it. But I just want, one, the choices that we made to matter, and two, for the story tales that they left either unfinished to in their cliffhanger state to be continued into the next one, have either a conclusion or have a further conclusion in the third game.
Yeah, the one thing I wish, I love Andromeda, but I wish there was more main stories.
Yeah, every main story mission we had plus loyalty missions
was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it was a loyalty mission or a main mission, it was fucking awesome. I loved every single one of them, but I want more of that though. I mean, I feel like there's so much more you can tell.
I think, granted I don't know how you feel about it or how other people feel about it, but I feel that by having so much openness to it, by adding so much openness to it, which I love the explorer aspect of it, but by adding so much of that, you lose a lot of the story. Because it's like, this isn't a complaint or being an asshole to them, but with Phantom Pain.
Yeah, because you and me have talked about this before, where it's like you lost the story because you spent so much time in the open world.
Where because you had to collect so much stuff for your bases and to build Mother Base and then your FOBs.
Because I loved Phantom Pain.
Yeah,
I love Phantom Pain, but I do agree with what you're about to say.
As much as I love Phantom Pain, because I had a blast in the open world and with the story and everything I told, but because of how open the world was and because of how much time you had to spend collecting everything for Mother Base, that there were times with the story where either the missions to me served no purpose with the main story because it was just, go do this is somehow furthering the plot, when it really wasn't, it was just a filler thing, or you had too many side-ups to do. And it gets down to us being completionists as gamers anyways, where we go to complete everything. But, and that's probably part of the problem of what I ended up experiencing, is that I ended up being so lost in the open world that by the time I got back to the story, it was either I was doing missions that just felt like fillers, or you were hitting those few intense moments where, to me, it was like, ooh, this is an intense moment, and then all of a sudden, new side-ups available. And you had to go, for me, I had to go do it because I wanted to complete all that stuff, just because I wanted to make sure that when I beat the game, everything was done.
But then they gave me
yeah, then they gave you more, but just because I didn't want to reach the end of the game and not have access to being able to finish this stuff. I didn't know at the time that there was open world afterwards. So with Phantom Pain, I felt the same kind of thing in Andromeda, is that because of how open they made everything, they lost track of telling the story. It's like they granted the worlds were beautiful, the exploration was fun, but it's like you have all this open space and you have a story kind of going through it, but because of how much time you have to spend in this open space, it's adventurer ADD basically, that we always just make little jokes about, where it's like, okay, well, I need to go complete this main mission because this is going to continue the further story. Oh wait, someone needs my help. And you go and complete all these miscellaneous things.
I have that problem in Skyrim.
I do too. You complete all these miscellaneous things, and
did you hear about that cave?
Yeah. And then
what cave?
Then by the time you get to the main story, like even in Skyrim, granted I love Skyrim. I played it, I've gone through and completed everything several times over, and But the problem, even with Skyrim, that I have is that even the main quest lines themselves, because of how much other stuff there was to do, is like there weren't really anything to me. Like the Civil War between Ulfric and Tullius, or the Empire, whatever they were called. I never really got invested in it. I was like, you had the Stormcloaks claiming the Talos stuff and all that stuff, and then you had the Empire, trying to bring order. Everybody was like, we have to fight the Thalmor, but first the Civil War has to get done. It's like,
where's the unity there?
yeah. But by the time I finished the quest, like, yeah, I killed Ulfric, and
we're still here, live, coming to you with a storm.
But even though I killed Ulfric and everything, and totally skipped the speech afterwards, like, okay, the Civil War is over, time to move on to the next thing. It was never like this impactful thing. Not even the Dragonborn quest line to me. It's like, yay, we killed Alduin and saved the world.
Really? That's how you felt about it?
I thought going to Sovngarde was really cool, and meeting all the
that
dead,
hurts my heart.
and meeting all the dead heroes and everything. I thought that was cool, But because by the time I get to Alduin, I'm so freaking high level because of everything else I've done. It's like all I have to do is hit him a few times, and then he's dead. And it's like, granted, his ending is explosive and cool, but I was never invested in the story. I was invested in like Parthenax and little different, like his character specifically, but I felt the same thing with Phantom Pain and Andromeda, where it's like, there's so much other stuff that we're doing that we've lost track of telling a really, really good story.
I understand where you're coming from. I really do. Because I agree with what you're saying, because I felt the same way in Phantom Pain. I disagree with you in Skyrim.
That's fine. My opinion might be in the minority, but...
No, because I felt the same way with Phantom Pain like that, where I love the story, but the best way to me to play it is back to back.
Yeah, for Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain.
If you played Phantom Pain's every main cutscene, every main story,
it's fucking brilliant.
Arc, it's a brilliant story.
But I got
unfinished, but it's a brilliant story.
Yeah, like my biggest problem was I got lost. Not lost, but I spent so much time.
I'm going to the center.
so much time in the open world that I completely forgot about the fucking story. Yeah. But I didn't feel that way about Andromeda. I really didn't. I thoroughly loved jumping in the Nomad and just taking off on this unknown planet. And the thing is, what I enjoyed about it was the banter between the comrades and everything. We're huge on banter. We're huge on bonds. We're huge on character development. So I mean, that to me, I get what you're saying about how it kind of.
I'll make two amendments to what I said about Skyrim. To me is not about the story. Skyrim to me is about going and exploring all the lost caves. The story in Skyrim, I don't really care for. Everything else is what I like about it. I love just going out and exploring.
I feel like you made that statement worse.
No, to me, because like I said before, the story. There are specific quest lines that I enjoy. I enjoy the College of Winterhold. I wish they would have done a little bit more with it, but I enjoyed the College of Winterhold.
No, because I know you love the game, so I'm not. Yeah. I'm just giving you a hard time.
And I enjoyed the Dark Brotherhood, and I enjoyed specific quest lines from it, and different story stuff that happened, like killing the Emperor of the Dark Brotherhood. That was really fun. Dealing with all the mysticism of the College of Winterhold, the Order of the Sijiks. Dealing with that stuff, I thought that was really interesting. The companions, I liked going. I liked Codlock and I liked specific companions and stuff like that, but I didn't really enjoy. I thought the companions quest line was just kind of and I didn't enjoy that they forced me to become a werewolf. That kind of irritated me, just because it was like the first playthrough of it. I was like, so I can't complete this quest line unless I become a werewolf. And I stayed away from the quest line for a long time until I finally just went and did it and found out I could heal my werewolf syndrome by completing the quest line. But I didn't look it up.
Because I ended up, side note here, but I actually loved Serena's quest line. Yeah, Serena's quest line. And
I enjoyed the DLC storylines. I thought those were really fun. But
that was just a side note, but go on with what you were saying.
As much as I enjoyed those specific things, the overall arcing story to me is like the Dragonborn, the Civil War. I had no interest in it. where to me the real meat of the story of Skyrim is all the miscellaneous quests, all the little side quests that you just happen to run into, whether you're going to a town and getting all these little quests and everything. It's about going out and exploring and all that stuff. Where with the Phantom Pain, like we said, play all the main points of the story and cutscenes back to back. Brilliant story. But with all the fillers and with the side ops and everything, I ended up getting lost in the open world, and the interest in the story that I had, if it would have been played back to back, wasn't as fiery as it should have been for me, where I would have been really into it, you know? It wasn't until like where everything just starts happening after you finally kill Philanthropist and all that kind of stuff that I started getting invested in the story, because all of a sudden these things are just happening. When you go back to Mother Base, these cutscenes happen where prior to that, they're not really happening. You have your moments with D-Dog and Quiet and stuff like that.
I thought that was adorable.
Oh, I did too, but it wasn't...
I loved building up the bond with all the characters.
Yeah, but there wasn't...
I really wish the robot would have had
it wasn't sentient, so...
I know, it's just...
Or I don't think it was. But
I just thought it would be funny, like Snake just sitting there smoking a cigar, like, maybe could...
But despite how awesome the story is back to back, with how Lost I ended up in the open world, it was like, it kind of lowered it for me. It wasn't like, it was a really great story back to back, but because of how Lost I ended up in the open world doing everything, it's like the story in a way suffered because of that. And in Andromeda, to me, as much as I enjoyed the exploring, because I really did enjoy the exploring, I liked doing the little side quests here and there, even the mundane ones, just because I enjoy doing that kind of stuff.
I did want to punch that one Solarian.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, there's a few Solarians.
There was a few.
But the one Solarian on Ion who was just being a complete dick.
Yeah, I wanted to punch him in the face too. But,
like, this isn't even your planet, shut up!
But even though...
Because that's how you punch, just completely...
But even though I enjoyed
it was faint.
Even though I enjoyed those little side quests and mundane things and exploring these new worlds, because I really enjoyed exploring the new worlds, especially when they.
I really wish Io was bigger. I mean,
yeah.
I just stood there next to Joel and just stared at him.
But even though I enjoyed exploring and enjoyed going, because they were all different environments, that's the one awesome thing about every different planet, was that they literally were different than the other ones in terms of whether it's the literal environment or it's
the one thing
danger, life support stuff was there. But
I liked how they added basically like a Kalros, the worm, New Chichanka. I was like, well, that's cute.
But even though I enjoyed all that kind of stuff,
I wonder if I can land on you.
Probably does.
It's gone over me, and I'm like.
Even though I enjoyed all that stuff, to me, even though every main mission and loyalty mission was really fun and intense to me, because of how much time you had to spend making planets viable by doing, because not to knock the vaults, because I enjoyed the vaults.
I love the vaults.
Because the vaults to me were really fun. I liked the puzzle solving in those vaults, and I enjoy, like I say, doing the mundane quests and everything.
I always felt bad when, like, I missed something. Like, I'm on the way out and, like, no!
But even though I enjoyed doing all the side quests and everything, I feel like...
Hold on, I don't care that there's a big radiation thing trying to kill us. I forgot something over there.
But I wish...
Critical mission failure.
That there would have been more main story missions.
Yeah.
Because if it would have just had a few more main story missions, not filler ones, but literal main story missions where they had reason, they had purpose, just like every other main story mission in there, I would have...
That's like I was saying, I completely agree with you. Like, I want more story. I want a longer story, I want more story, I want more connecting with characters in these worlds that we go to. Because I love side missions. If someone, like I was joking about earlier, like, have you heard about that cave in Sky? Like, I love it when I'm walking through Andromeda and someone talks about something and I'm like, oh, that's something I can do, or something I can help with, or whatever the case may be. It's like, I want more story, I want more side missions. But the thing is with that, I mean, you look at one of my favorite games of all time, The Witcher 3. I mean, truly,
It's so unfair to compare things to it, though.
Compare things to it because I mean, it literally is probably the best game ever. As far as one of the, I mean, I'm sure people can disagree and they're wrong, but but it truly, I mean, it really did set the bar for gaming of what
definitely RPGs.
Yeah, of RPGs of what gaming can be, what it can accomplish. And so yeah, you're right. It is unfair to compare other games to it, but they just nailed it so out of the park. I mean, every single mission, side mission or not, I was fully 100% invested in. And that's all I'm saying about it is that's what I want from Andromeda. I want those type of of the 5th installment of Mass Effect, which I'm hoping is an Andromeda sequel. Is I really want those type of stories, side missions, main missions, and I want more of them.
That's what I'll say about the open world that I'll give it credit for is The Witcher 3 is that The Witcher 3 was never, I never felt, granted The Witcher 3's main story is actually rather short if you just play it back to back.
Anyone who does needs to be back in it.
Yeah, they do.
It is meant to be like a fine wine.
You enjoy
slowly.
But even though that main story in that one is short, all the side missions make it so entertaining that, and like I said, I'm talking about just the main story mission back to back. Overall, is a shorter experience.
I know what you mean.
But you can have a short story. I mean, Mass Effect 1, you had, I think, off the top of my head, maybe 6 story missions.
Yeah, you and me have gone over this before. I think it's only 5 or 6. Because to me, that's what the first Andromeda was. It was like Mass Effect 1, just setting up the board for this brilliant trilogy. Don't you agree? Ty is not in the building right now. He'll come back.
6 missions, including Ios to the Citadel, if you separate them. But total. But Mass Effect 1, in everyone's nostalgia, is one of the greatest RPGs of the Mass Effect. Granted, I don't think it's the best one of the entire series at all.
It was great for its time.
It was great for its time. It was great to introduce everyone to the Mass Effect world.
That's what to me is what Andromeda was. It was introducing for the first time Mass Effect. And you look at Mass Effect 1 and you compare it to the second and third one, does not hold a candle to it. No. It's so secondary to those two stories and graphics.
The intensity of the stories.
So I mean, because to me, Andromeda was nothing. I loved Andromeda, but to me, it was nothing more than okay. We're in a new galaxy. Here's some characters. This is what's kind of going on in the galaxy. So that's what Andromeda was to me. It was setting up. Okay,
it's like the first book of a trilogy.
Exactly. You have the Jardin, these mysterious races.
It's like the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, you have the Jardin, who's this mysterious species who has the ability to create life.
Yeah.
Then you have whoever attacked the Jardin. If it wasn't the Jardin, whoever deployed the Scourge, which is a legit sentient thing. It fucking chases shit. Then you have the Ket, who can fucking turn people into themselves, and they apparently have an empire, and they're somewhere in Andromeda. So there's so much potential in continuing an Andromeda story. You can add so much more characters. You can add, with the characters we already have, there's so much more that they can grow through a series. I mean, you look at Mass Effect 1, I mean, as you were saying, I mean, look at Tali, Rex, Garrus. Yeah, they were really cool in the first game, but you didn't truly 100% fall in love head over heels for them until the second and third. Where,
because you were finally fully attached because they had their character growth.
Yeah.
And they had their little character growths in the first one, but Garrus, Rex, and Tali through 2 and 3 have even larger, relatively speaking, to different degrees, character growth arcs,
right.
where they become who they became to us as gamers.
It was built up over a series of games. It wasn't here Mass Effect 1 and you're completely, oh my god, I'm going to marry another species.
I'm sure there were some.
But I mean, to me, Mass Effect 1, even back then, it was, okay, this world, this story is fucking amazing. I can't wait to see what happens next. So that to me is where I'm at with Andromeda. Is it was the first step, like Mass Effect 1 was. Here are these characters. Here is this galaxy. Here is some of the problems going on. And to me, I really want them to take that and just fucking run with it. Go to the 10th degree. Just go completely balls out, crazy and fun with it. Because there is legitimately so much potential in Andromeda.
Yeah, I agree. With quick back to the Witcher thing is that The Witcher's open world, I never once felt detached from the story because there were all the side missions and everything, even if they didn't intertwine with the main story, they were still intriguing, they were still captivating, they were still hooking me along with it, into it. So what I want from the next Andromeda, as we were saying, with how much potential it has, is for the side missions, and even if the main mission quest line, or just the linear main mission story, or not linear, but the main mission storyline is 6 missions long, or 10 missions long, or whatever, the numbers don't matter, it's just, if it's if the main missions are short in comparison to the rest of everything else, at the length of the game, or if you would play it back to back, you could finish it within 2 days, or 6 or 8 hours, or whatever. It don't matter the time, or numbers or anything. But
like, I'm pretty sure every Mass Effect's at least 40 plus hours long.
But as long as the main story as long as the missions and the storytelling of the main missions are captivating and intense, that to me is not really something I have to worry about, just because
5 hours now is the story.
Yeah, I have enjoyed every single main story of every single Andromeda, or every single Mass Effect game, including Andromeda's, because I think the main story and the loyalty missions were all really well done, where they were captivating and intense. I just wish there were more of it. So to me, if you're going to have these open worlds where you get to explore and everything, you need to make sure that it's not just filled with mundane things. You need to make sure that, because you look at other games, not naming any specific, and I don't have any specific in mind, where you fill it with collectibles that have no purpose, just to make the person go and see every edge of the map, and you have the show map. That's pointless to me. Don't do something like that. And I'm not saying that Andromeda did, but instead, follow a similar thing to The Witcher, where, once again, I think it's completely unfair to compare any RPG to The Witcher just because of the high bar that The Witcher set with not only its main game, but its DLCs as well.
Yeah.
But
and
The Witcher didn't have
one game of the year. I feel terrible whoever made a game that year.
But
we lost to a DLC.
But The Witcher 3, as I said, it's unfair to compare anything to it, but the only collectibles you have in there were the armors. And I think those ended up being actually DLC. I don't think they were in the original. I'm not really entirely sure about that.
Didn't you have to go and collect the stones for the science?
Not really.
Not really, no?
They weren't they were just things that they were question marks on the map to go find, but they weren't.
Oh, so you're saying you
literal
don't force the character.
Yeah, don't.
Or person, not character.
You can have all the question marks that The Witcher had on the map, and no, not everything needs to be a side wish. It can be something similar to like a stone, or it can just be whatever. It doesn't matter what. You can have all of that stuff, but make sure that every side mission that you're doing, or at least 80% of all the side missions that you're involving in the game, give them meaning. Make them. Don't just look at them, oh, they're just side missions, they're non-essential, they don't really need to be entertaining. No. Make them entertaining. Give them their own stories. I understand how that the writing of that takes a long time, or
because you already.
Yeah, or budget-wise, it's you can't get all the animation stuff done or whatever. I understand that. These are people's lives that have put hours of their time into to do these things. And I understand all that. But if you're going to have large open worlds, to me, whether it's multiple planets or it's just one giant map, like with The Witcher, make sure that when you fill it with stuff, that you're filling it with meaningful things. Don't fill it with pointless collectibles that you just want people to go see these other sides of the map. Don't do it like that. Just give it purpose. Give the missions purpose. Give it entertainment in some way, shape, or
That
form.
actually brings me to the last point we're going to make is what I want most, I think, is choices and consequences. Like, I want consequences to the point where I feel guilt. And I feel terrible.
You want Morden all over again.
No, actually what popped in my head is when you're talking about The Witcher, it was just, it was nothing but just like a short little mission or side quest. You're going through the land and these ass clowns are trying to burn down this elf's home. And you can choose to intervene or not intervene. But just, I would like that on a Mass Effect level. Where if you don't help this woman, you go by, or you, whatever the case may be, that there's consequences. Maybe it's brought up later through another character. You could have saved this person, but you didn't. But to me, I want some dark consequences that makes me go, oh shit, or oh my god, I feel terrible,
or just morally gray in general.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the cat school Witcher guy part where the guy was hired to kill a Leshen, and we go also to kill it, and then you find the entire village slaughtered, and you have the choice: do you let this guy go because he's of his story, or do you kill him and for justice or whatever because of the innocent lives that he clearly didn't need to kill? But
then you look at it and go, well, they did stab him with a pitchfork.
yeah,
That pissed me off rightfully too.
But I understand what you're saying. To make it like that is, and I agree, and that's what I mean by make the side.
The thing is, I loved all the choices that we were given in Andromeda. But to me, and obviously it was the first, like we were talking about, it was the first of the thing. But I mean, you even go to the mission with the New Tachanka when the one Angaran is hoarding all the water. To me, I want consequences to shit. I don't want, okay, this is solved and whatever, either somebody replaces her, she still stays there and you get a cut or whatever. I want consequences. I want people dying. And I know that sounds terrible, but I want story. I want a deep story. I guess is what it just gets down to. I mean, I want consequences. I want whatever the opposite of consequences is.
I don't get it.
I can't think of the word. But I want positives and negatives. I want high positives and dark negatives in the next Mass Effect, where maybe like some things in the world would be timed, and if you don't reach there in time, people will die.
I don't like that.
No, but think about what that would add to the story, though. Like I was saying, like it maybe
you look at Mass Effect 2, and technically there was kind of a time limit with what missions you did. It would cause.
No, what I mean by that, I don't mean it's like, oh, you have this set time. Like legitimate, like you're trying to get there, and if you don't get there in 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, these entire people will be slaughtered.
I don't know.
And I know that could be terrible, and that would make people. But that's my point. It would make you feel like shit if you're like, oh no, I'll come back later, and then you come back later, and they're all dead. And like, oh fuck, I should have stopped and saved these people. Or something. It doesn't have to be that, but just something similar, you know.
Basically,
you know what I'm trying to say,
yeah, which
right?
is just that give the side missions reason. Don't make them pointless. Make it so they do affect you.
Yeah. And not just your character in the world, affect you personally, I think. Because that, to me, like, you look at Mass Effect 2 and 3 and The Witcher, I mean, the shit affected you as an individual. Like, when Morden dies, when Legion dies, when Thane dies, this shit affected you. When you're in Mass Effect 2, when you're going, Morden's, like, all the side missions and everything, when you go to Jack's side mission, how fucked up was that? When you go to Morden's side mission, you hear him like sitting there trying to hide behind the numbers and shit. I mean, the shit affected you as a person. At least it should have, otherwise you're just cold. But in The Witcher, things like that, like with the ass clowns trying to kill the woman, the elf woman. I mean, I slaughtered those humans, and I'm proud of it. But I'm a Witcher. It's my job. I killed monsters. I saw monsters. Monsters doesn't have to be deformed. They can be human. They don't have to be some demon welling in the night. But that's my point, though. It's like I want consequences to shit. Obviously that's a whole circle of story and everything else. But it's just when it comes down to it, I want whether I choose to do something or I choose to ignore
your
it.
choices to have repercussions.
Yeah, it's like I want it to matter. Because either way it's a choice. If I go to help those people, that's a choice. If I choose to ignore it, that's a choice. If I'm like, oh, I'll come back, and I come back and they're dead, that was a choice. That's all I'm saying is I want more choices, I want more story, but that's about it. And I also want the Tempest. I love the Tempest more than Normandy. I said it. I really did. It is by far the best ship in the galaxy. Galaxies. It was in 2. Alright, so that's how we feel about the 5th installment of Mass Effect, the things we want to see, the things that we'd like to see in it, different things we'd like to see them improve on. So make sure you let us know in the comments if we missed anything. Let us know what you want to see in the next one. Make sure you subscribe to our channel where we come out with other videos like this one. Alright, so this is Nerdy Gym Bros, signing off.